Welcome back. Okay, we're back now with part of the security team from that terrible night in Benghazi. And gentlemen, before the break, I was saying I wanted to talk to you about some of the coverage that happened after the fact and what that was like for you to watch the coverage. And did you feel like your story was not being properly represented?
Oh, most definitely. I was laying in a hospital in Lunstel, Germany, and you turn on the TV and Susan Rice is saying that there was a demonstration, and you know, I don't know where they're getting that from, how they come up to that conclusion. You know, I guess the analysts would somehow come up with that. But they, you know, they didn't talk to us initially because we were there. I was driving around earlier that night.
But no one came to you to ask you what the story was before they started spinning it on the news?
You know, it was probably shortly after the first time I saw it on the news, there was some State Department officials that come by and visited just to see how I was doing. And, you know, we discussed a lot of different topics around that.
Yeah.
And why it just stayed where it was, I don't know.
Did you feel like it was a big CYA moment?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and it continues to be that way.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, misrepresented is a easy word, is a nice word for it. It's blatant. Lied about what happened that night. Why? I don't know. Election, pie in the face. Who knows? But it wasn't the truth.
What specifically upset you that was untrue?
I was in Germany and I turned on the TV. First thing I saw on the TV was Susan Rice saying this was due to a video, and that really upset me.
And what video exactly was this?
They were talking about the Islamic hate video or whatever.
Something on YouTube.
Something, and we had no idea
that it
even
was
existed.
retaliation.
Yeah,
to that.
we didn't know anything.
When in fact your understanding is it was because it was September 11th, and you knew that you would be at some point at risk and under fire. You knew you were understaffed. I mean, is that?
Well, and to make it clear, we weren't ever understaffed. The State Department was understaffed.
Okay.
And I think that is a big precursor to it. Is, I mean, one of the tenets of anti-terrorism is you make yourself look like a lion, because if you're looking like a sheep, they're going to come after you. The wolf will come get you, and they look like a bunch of sheep.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the epic failure.
I think them being Department of Defense, Department of State being caught with their pants down too. It's 9/11. You have no assets ready. Are you kidding me? You have no assets ready to go or on standby. So, you know, with that excuse that we couldn't have got people there, well, that's unacceptable just by not having people ready, because it's going to be 9/11.
They should have been there in the first place.
They should have been on high alert everywhere in the world. Yeah.
Well, and you can get from United States to there in less than 18 hours. It was 13 hours from the beginning to the end. And at the time, they didn't know when it was going to end. So why you wouldn't put something in the air, some assets, getting them moving that direction? I mean, you were just across the Mediterranean from Italy. There's several air bases there. There's several naval stations there. I mean,
where do you think the breakdown happened?
Wow, that's
I
hard.
would
love to know.
The breakdown.
I would love to know. It'd be great to talk to the people that were making those decisions.
Yeah, because of course they'll say it's a breakdown in communication, and by, you know.
I mean, why would DOD give their assets, Department of Defense, over to the State Department and make it their decision if they should react?
You know, we do know that the calls went up from our chain of command, which would have been Tripoli, the chief of station. We do know they went forward to D.C. somewhere. But again, yeah, once it got there, we have no idea what took place.
But the fact of the matter is you stood there for 13 hours with 4 attacks, with no backup and no help.
Yep.
You were injured greatly. Would you
Mm-hmm.
explain just a little bit about that?
I was up on the roof with Tyrone Woods, and, you know, within probably 15, 20 feet of us, 3 mortars landed. The first one killing Tyrone, the second one killing Glenn Doherty, and the first one almost severed my arm, got me in the neck, in the chest, up and down my body. I've got, I don't know, 20, 30 different pieces of metal in my body still. And if it wasn't for Tig here, Dave Ubben, who was also severely injured, and myself would have probably both died, and there would have been 4 of us up there.
Has anyone from the current administration reached out to you?
No.
No.
They had a ceremony where actually we were given and a plaque award from the State Department, and I guess Hillary was there and doing it, but we didn't get invited to go.
And I've never seen an award, but that's not what we did it for. We don't care about the awards.
I saw a wonderful interview y'all had with Sean's mom. It was via satellite. Very, very touching as a mother, and I could almost understand how she was feeling of the loss of her son. Since then, you promised her you were going to meet her in person. Has that happened yet?
Yes, it has. We've had the opportunity to meet her and discuss with her any questions that she had, and you know, it was healing for all of us, I think.
I think the
Give-
truth
give
always
her a
is.
give her a big hug and give her a kiss on the head, and she's basically adopted us.
She loves y'all,
Yeah,
as she should.
And she's very, she's still very grief-stricken and very angry, which I don't blame her.
Yes.
She hasn't been told anything till we came out with the truth 2 years later. That's unacceptable.
I know people are very, very anxious to hear your story and hear the truth of what finally happened that night. Again, the book is called 13 Hours. It's the inside account of what really happened in Benghazi. Hope you get it. Hope you read it. The broadcast continues after this break.